today here on SportsGrid. It is great to be with you on this Saturday where we enter into Week 18 of the NFL slate. Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi, how are you, my friend?
I'm feeling great. This is what it's all about. Two divisional matchups that will ultimately pit playoff seedings and potentially who's in, who's out for a wild card contender or potentially playoff spots. So we'll see how it plays out. Great games, though. I mean, we've seen these games play out a little bit earlier in the year. We'll see which team steps up today and gets it done.
Yeah, so for your slate today, two games where some of the meaning of it got shifted a little bit due to Week 17. Tampa Bay, Carolina was supposed to be a pretty clean and pure win-and-in scenario. And then the Bucs lost to the Dolphins. And, yeah, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Hey, it's all good. It's all good. You just need the Rams to beat the Atlanta Falcons. Whoops! Whoops! Okay, so now we have the Bucs and the Panthers, a field goal spread in Tampa Bay, a reeling Bucs group. They were 6-2. They're 7-9.
Terrible.
They need to win this game, and they need the Saints to win on Sunday. It is remarkable, Joe. Again, we're going to break this game down in its entirety, but I just think. And I feel bad, actually, for them for a number of reasons, that the Bucs have managed to get to this spot, and it's all gone so poorly. They can't even control their destiny in a division where you may need to be under 500 to win it.
Yeah, I mean, you could go back to last week or 2 weeks ago where they lost to the Panthers 23-20. But I really think that the turnaround, the game that really added to the momentum on the downside was that primetime matchup to Atlanta, where they had a double-digit lead at home and allowed Kirk Cousins to cook yet again. Kyle Pitts with 3 touchdowns, and they lose by 1 point in that matchup. That, to me, was the one that really could have sealed the deal. And from that point, we haven't seen that offense cook in any capacity. Yeah. There's no rushing attack. And it's unfortunate, but the hottest team, or one of the hottest teams now in the NFL, happens to be the Atlanta Falcons. They're not just walking through the motions. They're taking care of business. They have a game with a red-hot New Orleans team. New Orleans does have 6 wins. They've overexceeded expectations with Kellen Moore, and it's going to be a close game, right? But to know that you're at home with the division at hand, you have to win, number one. And then you have to sit by tomorrow afternoon and watch that game play out between the Falcons and Saints. It's not easy. And oh, by the way, it is in Atlanta. So you tell me.
It's interesting. You mentioned the Falcons' 29-28 loss as a turning point.
Win.
Oh, okay.
For the Bucs, I'm saying.
Yeah, no. So I mean, the game they lost to Atlanta.
Right. Yep.
Yes. We're on the same page. But Joe, I think back to a game that actually you and I did all of first half on air. Early.
Right.
Detroit.
Yes.
Tampa Bay was 5-1, and if you snapshot it, Baker, top 2 odds to win league MVP.
Yeah. He
looked bad in that football game. We agreed. It was a tough spot. They were super injured. Mike Evans, if you remember, got injured in that football game. That's when we knew the 1,000-yard season was going to come to a close. The follow-up was them playing against New Orleans in one of the ugliest football games of the year. I don't even bring it up jokingly. I think it might have actually been your best bet that week. It was
it probably was. Yeah. It was a dead under.
That was the game that Rattler got benched, but it was a nothing football game. But we thought, it's fine. It's fine. They've never been the same.
Yeah.
They have just never been the same since their first 6 weeks. And Baker Mayfield, Joe, by the way, that's a 10-game sample size from Detroit to now. It's a passer rating under 80.
Yeah,
he's
not
thrown
good.
13 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. The yards per game have all just completely dropped. The completion percentage is completely dropped. It's been alarming, to say the least. And on the Carolina side, the one thing this team has going for them, Joe, and if they aren't in the playoffs, they'll have going for them. They have some bad losses. They do have big wins. They beat the Packers. They beat the Rams. They've beaten this Tampa Bay team. They have found ways to put impressive results actually on their resume throughout this season. They have also just been an every other week team. They rotate wins and losses. You had mentioned this to me a couple of weeks ago. They're perfect, I believe, against the number off of a loss, and that's what they're off of entering into this matchup.
Yeah, and to your point, the win in Green Bay was on the road. A majority of their big wins happen to be at home. They got the win as a 10.5-point dog against the Rams. They win it. They beat Dallas. We know the win a couple weeks ago against Tampa Bay as a 3.5-point underdog. So, again, this is a team that is basically playing with house money because they're a young football team. Canales has managed to get this team in a position to over-exceed expectations in year number 2. Bryce Young, one day good, one day bad. The consistency from week to week hasn't been there, but they still have a rushing attack. So if you look at both teams entering this matchup and you say, okay, what can you count on? In a playoff type of environment, teams that play solid defense and can run the football effectively will at least be in margin or at least be in a position to win this game. And that's where you would give the inside edge to Carolina. But if I'm Tampa Bay, and I keep saying this, and I understand that the offense has not looked good, but you have potentially, to your point, an MVP candidate at the quarterback position. Yeah. You have an experienced guy that has won big playoff games with Cleveland and now with Tampa Bay. He has a significant advantage over Bryce Young from experience, and I would say weapons, too. Outside of Ted McMillan, are we buying into Leggett, Coker as elite wide receivers? They have 4 guys, Ibuka, McMillan, Evans, Godwin. There should be no doubt I'm going down with my best option in this game, and it should be Baker Mayfield throwing it 45 times in this matchup.
Our second game is a completely different vibe. The winner is the 1 seed in the NFC. The winner will have a case to be booked as Super Bowl favorites. If Seattle wins this game, I think they will be booked as Super Bowl favorites. They are around co-favorites with the Rams right now. If the Niners win, not only are they the 1 seed, but everybody knows at this point, the Super Bowl is going to be played in their home stadium. So they're done as far as it pertains to the road. So we have one game that's winning in. We have another game that's you become the team to beat in this conference. And you have over a call it 4-year window, proven versus unproven. And Niners team that has been to the Super Bowl multiple times, different quarterbacks. Brock's been once. Kyle Shanahan's been twice since being in San Francisco. A group that, since McCaffrey has come over, has been one of the 2 best teams really in this conference, along with the Philadelphia Eagles. For the Seattle Seahawks, this is a team who brought Sam Darnold in, and apparently it's just Sam Darnold sees it on repeat. You like the defense, megastar wide receiver, and it comes down to Week 18 where you win and you're the 1 seed, just like they had last year against Detroit with Minnesota. And if you lose, you're the 5 seed.
Right.
It's all up for grabs.
It is. And in that game, you say best defensive unit on the field is Seattle. Okay. And best offensive unit on the field is San Francisco, which gives. Right, and we talked about San Francisco. Everybody looks at that victory over Chicago and Caleb Williams, and I've saw it across multiple, gurus and analysts. They're one and done, or you can't trust San Francisco's defense throughout the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But if the offense is hitting on all cylinders and they are that team that could outscore anybody, then you would give them a pretty good shot, especially with home field advantage. Do I believe they're going to be there? No. But I am curious to see Sam Darnold going up against his former team in this type of spot where in big matchups, yes, he's performed now, but he's also turnover prone. Can he limit that in this game with all eyes on him? That will ultimately dictate whether the legit Super Bowl contender.
We begin in Tampa Bay. Can the Bucs keep their season alive? We'll break it down here on SportsGrid.
LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. the greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Like Alabama, right? Is there a team that scores more than Alabama? No, right? But they're actually an under team over the last couple of years because their numbers are so high. You get these Americans in Queens College or Denver. Who the hell's betting on them, right? Nobody. So the lines stay low. They're just like, no one's hopping all over them. But every time you see an Alabama game, you're betting over, but you're losing money because the numbers are so big.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Sometimes those coaches do get the axe regardless of what the owner said just a few short weeks ago. And sometimes, Joe, you can't have it both ways. Like a Jets fan, you probably want them to tank. They're doing a really good job of that by not even being competitive at this point. But at the same time, you sort of want it to be, yeah, we're not competitive winning games, but it looks like we have a future. We might have found our quarterback. We got a good foundation. Nothing is going right.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Live here on Pro Football Today, Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi. Let's begin in Tampa Bay, Joe, as the Bucs are a field goal favorite. Total in this game checks in 43.5. I am curious, when you see that full field goal number, I think that is actually, with the way Tampa Bay has played, a respectful number to this team. I understand that they are home, but we know home field advantage is not probably priced the way it was, certainly, 10 years ago or so. What do you think about the number when you see it? Do you feel strongly about a side in this game?
No. Again, I feel strongly on the total, and we'll get into that later. But just think about the game a couple weeks ago. It was the same number. So and Tampa lost that game 23-20, and again, the identity's lost. So it's a must-win game. This is a team that has won the division 3 straight years. Again, quarterback advantage, skill advantage on the wide receivers. I'll give the running back advantage to Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle just for argument's sake. Defensively, Carolina, I would say, just because you would say, just because the secondary's been abused right now by Tampa Bay, one of the worst statistical secondaries, bottom third in the NFL. It's a must-win game, and I think the perception is, there's no way Baker and Tampa Bay is going to lose this, right?
Right.
Like, that's what I believe. But if you ask me from the football aspect, is it possible Carolina could pull off the upset? Absolutely. Do I have confidence in Bryce Young? No. But if they're able to run the football and Tampa shows me what they have, which is no consistency, no continuity now on the offensive line. You saw Bucky Irvin yelling at the offensive line. Tristan Wirfs has been in and out of that lineup. So that has affected protection. But again, what is the offensive philosophy for Tampa Bay? You tell me. It used to be pass first, run off of play action, or run off of the passing attack. As Baker cooks, so does the rushing attack. We flip that now. Now we want to force the square peg into the round hole. We want to get Rachaad White and Bucky Irvin going, and we're going to run it at all costs. And then in predictable third down situations, we expect Baker to pull rabbits out of a hat. I just don't understand when you have Mike Evans, and you have McMillan, and you have Ibuka, and you have Godwin.
Right.
Throw it 45 times and then run it. But again, they score early, pull back the reins, Allow the team to come back or their opposition, and then we're figuring it out. They have had teams dead to rights throughout the regular season and have not been able to close the door because of the complacency of the offensive philosophy. And you could say maybe going from Cohen to now the new offensive coordinator is the reason, but they have to figure it out. If I'm Todd Bowles and I'm this organization, I am not going down with Baker Mayfield throwing 22 times in this game and losing this game 21-17.
I think for me, Joe, I hear what you're saying about, hey, let Baker throw it all over the place. I think their offensive continuity has been disastrous.
There's no identity.
So I agree with you. But I think some of that is none of these guys are playing well. Like when you look right now at Baker Mayfield, and we just set it off at the top, he's not just been bad for a couple of games. I mean, Baker Mayfield started the year playing at a near MVP level. He has been one of the 10 worst quarterbacks in football, it feels like, for 2 months. Bucky Irving is supposed to be one of the most explosive running backs in football, Joe. 3.4 yards a carry. He was 5.4 last year. A full 2 yards a carry drop-off shouldn't even be possible, in my estimation. So that is why Tampa Bay becomes a very difficult group, I think, to buy into, because what are you buying into? The run game, and by the way, the run game has no consistency, because all of a sudden now they're like, you know what, maybe we should get Rashad White more involved. Sean Tucker's our goal line back. It's like, I mean, the Emeka Egbuka fall off is still one of the most incredible things we've ever seen. Emeka Egbuka hit the scene and would look like a lock to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's not even a candidate.
Yeah.
He's not even the mix now. Defensively, nobody trusts him. What's Todd Bowles doing?
Wow. I mean, you could have made that argument, and I gave Todd Bowles the benefit of the doubt because I was always down on Todd Bowles, but the fact that he did coach up this team and allow the offensive side to just do what they had to do and him concerned with the defense, I was all well and good. But now as the head of the organization in the face of this team, you have to take control. And they haven't taken control. They have lost to garbage teams down the stretch. They have lost 7 of the last 8 games. Okay, and when they had that 3-game losing streak against teams like the Patriots and some better teams that we discussed, you're like, okay, it's okay. They're banged up. Evans was out. Godwin is out. They get the one victory over Arizona, 20-17, who, by the way, Arizona's defense is absolutely abysmal. And, again, they have gotten shredded by multiple quarterbacks, and to only put up 20 points on that defense is pathetic. But I have no confidence, even though my best bet today, and I'll say it, is the over, because you have to score points. If I'm Tampa, I'm at home, I have the quarterback advantage. I'll keep saying it. Run, hurry up. Do whatever it takes to get Baker Mayfield into a rhythm. I don't want to see him running around on 3rd and 16 trying to make plays.
I do think sometimes, though, when some of the Baker scramble stuff was incredible, but it was also unsustainable. But sometimes people don't like that reality, and I think it's up to the organization to realize that Baker just kind of, whirling dervish all over the place, trying to find somewhere to go is not actually a legitimate recipe, and that's what you run into, I think, a little bit for the Tampa Bay side. And I think what's so interesting is I'm sure, especially if maybe you're a Panthers fan and you're watching, like, man, a lot about the Bucs here. The Bucs have won this division for 4 straight years. The Bucs were the biggest division favorite of any division through 6 weeks of the NFL season. They had a top 3 MVP candidate, and they were perennially in the playoffs. So we had a moment where it looked like Tampa Bay was going to go from they win the South by default to Super Bowl contender. And now, even if the Bucs win, it'll be the South by default, and they'll be expected to get smashed in round number 1. But to the Carolina fans' point, they've beaten really good teams before. So what can we expect from the Panthers today? What stands out in the props market for this matchup? There is some interesting touchdown splits that really jumped off the page to me when you look at this Panthers defense and what they have been allowing throughout this season and what we get out of Bryce Young. A question it feels like we ask each and every Sunday. We'll ask it again on a Saturday after the break.
LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. The greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Like Alabama, right? Is there a team that scores more than Alabama? No, right? But they're actually an under team over the last couple of years because their numbers are so high. You get these Americans in Queens College or Denver. Who the hell's betting on them, right? No, but so the lines stay low. They're just like, no one's hopping all over them. But every time you see an Alabama game, you're betting over, but you're losing money because the numbers are so big.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Sometimes those coaches do get the axe regardless of what the owner said just a few short weeks ago. And sometimes, Joe, you can't have it both ways. Like a Jets fan, you probably want them to tank. They're doing a really good job of that by not even being competitive at this point. But at the same time, you sort of want it to be, yeah, we're not competitive winning games, but it looks like we have a future. We might have found our quarterback. We got a good foundation. Nothing is going right.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Carolina Panthers have an opportunity to make this incredible climb and get themselves into the playoffs. And by the way, if they are in with a win, there's a world that they get in with a loss, we know, then they'll be 9-8. About 500.
Great job.
It's an incredible season for them. Dave Canales, in a down year, could have been a strong Coach of the Year candidate, but you just got a lot of really good guys kind of fighting at the top. But I think one of the other reasons, Joe, that Canales really has actually not entered that conversation is there's not been a lot of trust, I feel, in Bryce Young. I feel like, though, are someone who's willing to go to the well, bet Bryce Young, have these big games. So I want your insight here. Against this Tampa defense, you've said it's vulnerable. What do you expect from Bryce Young here in this spot with the chance to go to the postseason on the line?
I expect Canales to take a conservative approach. I really do. And again, that's where you would lean to Baker to push tempo. Mm-hmm. I don't know if Bryce is going to have a 275 day unless Tampa dictates it early on. I think the mentality is short to intermediate throws, don't turn the football over. Let's see, obviously, if we can get this game 21-17 and rely on our defense, and hopefully we could steal it. I think Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard have a more integral part of this offense. And again, when you look at Bryce Young, yeah, he had the 400-yard game against Atlanta in the overtime game. They trailed that game. Let's not forget, right? The mentality when you're on the road in a playoff game, must win. Run the football, rely on your defense. Again, it's one thing if they had Brock Purdy, Stafford. They don't, though. The consistency has not been there. I'm still not sold Bryce Young is the guy because when I see games where they lose 20-17 to New Orleans, and granted New Orleans is playing better, but he can't hit a 15-yard dig with the game on the line and put his team in a position to kick a game-tying field goal, I have concerns about Bryce Young. Give him a clean pocket or put him in a hurry-up type of offense where they're trailing by 15, then you got a shot. But they don't play games like that. They come out, they want to establish the run with Rico Dowdle. Tet McMillan, could have 20 yards in the first half. They don't care. Right. He's the pure number one. So, again, if we're looking prop-wise, I'm much apt more to buy into Baker because I feel at home You have to be able to dictate tempo. In this situation, again, I think it wouldn't shock me if Bryce is in the area of a $185, 190, and again, maybe one touchdown, no interception. I don't believe that's what's going to happen. But if you're forcing me to play the quarterbacks, my money's on Baker more so than Bryce Young.
Yeah, I think that is fair. One element that I think we could see Bryce Young step up in this game, though, Joe, is the deep shot. We've seen Tampa Bay, to varying degrees, be vulnerable to the down-the-field stuff. That number's 32.5. I think that is an incredibly light number here on Bryce Young over his longest completion. It's one that I'm going to be playing. Bryce Young is coming off of a game where he threw just 54 yards, by the way, on 24 attempts.
But that's the
point.
You don't know what you're getting with this team.
I do think a little bit, though, Joe. I'm not saying that they didn't try, but I think to some degree for this football team, the game, how do I say? They didn't need it. I hate to say it, but they did not need it, right? They and I also think Seattle was going to be a tough go-around for that group because the Seahawks were off a mini-bye, having played on the Thursday. The guy that I am expecting a lot from, the guy that I bet for Offensive Rookie of the Year, is Teteroa McMillan. I thought he was the best wide receiver in the draft class. You and I had talked about that through our NFL draft coverage, Joe, and I think he has an opportunity to step up here. He's not too far away from a 1,000-yard season, and I'm not saying this isn't incentive time, not with things on the line like they're on the line here, but I think McMillan has an opportunity to slam the door, quite frankly, on that race.
He should. I mean, last game they played when they won 23-20, he has 6 receptions, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Mm-hmm. And again, Bryce Young in that game throws for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns, 21-32. So again, efficient, didn't turn the football over, put his team in a position. Now on the road, again, you would expect McMillan to be that guy.
Yep.
It's amazing to me how and where this philosophy changed for certain teams. But across the board, every number one now is not utilized unless you're basically Seattle and the LA Rams. Mm-hmm. Go across. It's all the tertiary wide receivers, the secondary. How could that be? On top of giving them a boatload of money, you're not going to target these guys? Yeah. Walk me through that process.
I cannot. It has been, that has been something that's been a bit of a thorn in your side.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
He's asking ChatGPT what's going on with the number ones. We are going to move over to the battle in the NFC West. Niners, Seahawks, next.
LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry? The greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Like Alabama, right? Is there a team that scores more than Alabama? No, right? But they're actually an under team over the last couple of years because their numbers are so high. You get these Americans in Queens College or Denver. Who the hell's betting on them, right? No, but so the lines stay low. They're just like, no one's hopping all over them. But every time you see an Alabama game, you're betting over, but you're losing money because the numbers are so big.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Sometimes those coaches do get the axe regardless of what the owner said just a few short weeks ago. And sometimes, Joe, you can't have it both ways. Like a Jets fan, you probably want them to tank. They're doing a really good job of that by not even being competitive at this point. But at the same time, you sort of want it to be, we're not competitive winning games, but it looks like we have a future. We might have found our quarterback. We got a good foundation. Nothing is going right.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
We are back with you right here on Pro Football Today. We've just gone through Bucs Panthers. I'm sure we'll break that game down a little bit more in a little bit. But the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks meet with an opportunity to be the number one seed in the NFC on the line. So I ask you this question, Joe. Who does this game mean more for in terms of you believing in their chances to go to the Super Bowl this season?
Seattle. Easy. It's Seattle. It's a no doubt about it. It's Sam Darnold. It comes down to Sam Darnold. You could say what you want, and Sam Darnold got the win a couple of weeks ago against the L.A. Rams in dynamic fashion, made amends for the inconsistency and the turnovers early in that game, and had the fourth quarter drive, had the overtime drive to put them in a position to win that game. But you take the good, the bad, and the ugly with Sam Darnold. And the ugly is last year, with 2 games on the line, to put the Minnesota Vikings in a position to potentially be the number one seed. They lost the last regular season game to Detroit, and he played pitiful. And he followed that up on a neutral field and got abused by the L.A. Rams, which is why he's with the Seattle Seahawks. And I understand that he has overexceeded expectations, and he's erased maybe any doubts that he can be a pure starter in this league. But we're talking about the number one seed and putting him on the same level as Super Bowl winning quarterbacks to potentially take his team to the promised land. And if we're talking about teams that haven't done it, like Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions and some of the others, Sam Darnold is right in that mix. In a road game, divisional opponent, with all the chips in the middle of the table, he's got the defense to carry him. Can he live up to the hype? I'm not so sure.
I think it's a really interesting one because...
Why?
So, in terms of who it means more for, right? In terms of if you lose this game, do I still think you can represent the NFC?
Right. You're talking about the home field for San Fran, right?
Well, it's not just that, but that's a part of it. It's a number of factors. The case that Seattle can survive is with a loss, no matter what, they're the 5 seed. And that means they're going to go to the South, and look, they're capable of, at that point, they're going to be capable of losing to whether it's Tampa Bay or Carolina. It happens. But they're going to be legitimately
favorite.
The biggest round 1 favorite of any team is going to be road Seattle if that's where they are. If San Francisco loses, you look at it a little bit, and you think about, man, how did they turn this whole thing around at 6-4? Oh, Arizona, Carolina, Cleveland, Tennessee, Phillip Rivers and the Colts. That Bears win, yes, it was awesome. You scored 42 points. It was an incredibly fun football game. When is the last time we felt amazing about the Niners defense? Week 1 against Seattle?
Yeah.
Now, again, it's nobody's fault. They lost. It was a defense that was built around 2 megastars in Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, and they both were injured seemingly back-to-back, right? Now, by the way, we talk about just kind of the value of the 1 seed, Joe, and things of that nature. There's some idea that Fred Warner could come back if the postseason run is deep enough. So
is he going to be 100%, though?
I don't know, but I think the way my thing, Joe, is if San Francisco ends up the 6th seed, which is if they lose, that's what they're going to be favored to be. They're either going to be going to Chicago or Philadelphia. They're going to be an underdog in that football game. And even if they get that win, by the next round, they'll be on the road again. And you're now asking this team to go on a type of run that it's a little difficult to imagine in my eyes. Especially, and it's true for Seattle, but it's true for San Fran. The thing, if you lose this game, is it does say a lot about you. A loss here says, yeah, you're probably not built for that run. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, it's fair to say, but I'll pose it a different way. If there is going to be a team potentially to go on the road, right? are you having more confidence in Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Kittle, Juwan Jennings, Pearsall, and that offense, right?
Yeah.
Or Sam Darnold in a tough road environment? I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
We sat up on this desk and we talked about Sam Darnold and we talked about the ghosts and we talked about the past, weaknesses and him not stepping up, and they're still there. They're still there. It's not like he's played turnover free in these games. Go to the Rams loss, right?
The Rams win.
But that's my point.
Yeah,
They're
I agree.
still there.
Yep.
Right? It's not like in these games he's not turning the football over. He is turning the football over. He's overcoming some of those turnovers, and I believe a portion of that is because they have a legitimate defense and one of the best in the league. So you can have a mistake, and your defense will bail you out, right? You have a couple of mistakes, your defense could get one back for you. You can't play games like that in the playoffs saying, well, I know my quarterback's good for 2 turnovers, and guess what? We're going to have to get 2 ourselves because that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So, you can maybe do that against the likes of Carolina and Tampa. You're not doing that against the Eagles I'm sorry. You're not doing that against that team. You're not doing it potentially against a Sean McVay team should you have to go up against them again in a playoff environment.
Yeah.
So that when we look at this and you say, okay, which team do you have more concern or which team has the pressure on them? It's got to be Seattle for me because of Sam Darnold, because he has still not cleaned up that portion of his game.
I hear you, right? I think what's interesting is if Darnold plays a great game, and we're going to,
all right, so can you define great game? 303 touchdowns and no interceptions?
250, 2 touchdowns, but most importantly, no interception.
Okay. Yep, today.
Yeah.
All right.
I do think some of it is like, wow,
it's San Francisco.
Defense, right? I think some of it. Here's the other thing that is so important for San Francisco, though. So this line keeps moving towards Seattle. Some of that, the way the bets come in, I understand.
But they're a dominant road team, too.
It's not just that. As always, it's never ending. The injury report for the Niners. It's not small names. Ricky Pearsall, George Kittle,
it's the same
Trent
guys.
Williams, Joe. But it's listen. I know.
It's
but
the same guys.
Here's my thing. As far as it goes, my read on it, right? Try and go through, the 6 scores. Pearsall, Kittle play. Trent Williams does not. Oh yeah, that's only a massive deal for one of the 5 best offensive linemen of the last 2 decades to potentially miss this game. But again, we talk about the value of winning this game. All these guys get rest. Oh my gosh, the value getting McCaffrey.
I don't know.
Off.
I don't know if I buy into that. I still think their defense is a weakness. And again, I don't think it's going to get better. Could it get a little bit better in a playoff type of environment with rest? It's possible. But expecting them to all of a sudden be physical, shut down the run consistently, the back end, as bad as the pass rush has been, the secondary's now they'll attribute it to a lack of pass rush, fine. But they're allowing 245 passing yards to opposing offenses. I mean, come on now. It's almost 250 per game. It's one of the worst in the league.
The one thing that's interesting, though, right? We talk about all these questions defensively for San Francisco. Sometimes people don't like talking about strength of schedule. You got to play who's in front of you. Yeah, okay, but you have to figure out how impressive everything is, okay? That's important as well, because then you end up buying into hype that you shouldn't buy into. Since the Week 8 bye for Seattle, they played Matt Stafford twice. Who's the next best quarterback they faced? The list of quarterbacks is Bryce Young, Phillip Rivers, Kirk Cousins, Max Brosmer, Cam Ward, Jacoby Brissett, and Jaden Daniels, but it was also I don't even know what to make of the Daniels season. It was his first time back, and the whole thing was just a mess, right? I'm just saying, and I know it'll work a little bit against what I really like, and we're going to get into it. Seattle's defense doesn't come without some questions as well. We're going to continue to break this one down. The props that we like here. Brock Purdy versus Sam Darnold on SportsGrid.
LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. The greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Like Alabama, right? Is there a team that scores more than Alabama? No, right? But they're actually an under team over the last couple of years because their numbers are so high. You get these Americans in Queens College or Denver. Who the hell's betting on them, right? Nobody. So the lines stay low. They're just like, no one's hopping all over them. But every time you see an Alabama game, you're betting over, but you're losing money because the numbers are so big.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Sometimes those coaches do get the axe regardless of what the owner said just a few short weeks ago. And sometimes, Joe, you can't have it both ways. Like a Jets fan, you probably want them to tank. They're doing a really good job of that by not even being competitive at this point. But at the same time, you sort of want it to be, yeah, we're not competitive winning games, but it looks like we have a future. We might have found our quarterback. We got a good foundation. Nothing is going right.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Seahawks, Niners. Let's get straight to it here, Joe. I know I just said there's some questions defensively about how excellent Seattle might be defensively. With all that said, I like under 47.5 in this game.
Do you?
I believe we have ourselves a true playoff game on our hands. And I think some of that will lead to both coaches keeping things a bit tighter to the vest. And I expect both running back rooms to be heavily involved. We know Christian McCaffrey. You'll see some Brian Robinson Jr. The Ken Walker, Zach Charbonnet combination will be used as well. Because I think it's on the board that both of these coaching staffs, when they try and how do we lose this game? It's turnovers. It's interceptions at the quarterback position. You've rightfully talked about the Sam Darnold. It's funny. It's not the same fall off, but the Baker MVP stuff. Darnold had that moment. He had 25 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. Like, Sam Darnold turns the football over. That's what it's been in his whole career. It's what it's been this season in a big way. But Brock Purdy, it doesn't even feel real. Brock Purdy's first play of the game in the 42-38 win against the Bears, where he looked unbelievable, was a pick six.
Yeah.
I think you see these teams running the football a ton. It's not supposed to be great weather in San Francisco. Wind is projected in the forecast. I think that helps a little bit here. I think these teams are taking points in the red area when it's 4th and 3 and kicking field goals because things get tight. And I think 47.5 is a bit too tall. I'm happy to play the under here, Niners Seahawks.
Well, think about the last two meetings, 17-13 earlier in the year and 20-17 last November, right? So that's well under the 47.5. But I can't get there. And again, if I'm the way I see this game, I have Brock Purdy that he's a riverboat gambler now, right? You see the plays against Chicago. We talk about street ball Williams.
Yeah.
Well, he had a little street ball in him in that win over the Bears, right? You have multiple weapons that you have to get the football to. You don't want them keying on Christian McCaffrey in the rushing attack. That's been a little inconsistent with the offensive line play this year. They did pound the rock early against Chicago. Do I expect them to do that against DeMarcus Lawrence and that front seven? No. I think they have to pass to run the football later in the game. And I think we can get to the 47.5. The reason why is turnovers. And again, you're gonna people that are taking the not you, but I'm saying
I got you.
You're gonna guarantee me Sam Darnold's not gonna turn the football over?
Joe,
if we're talking about trends and we're talking about history and we're talking about and even Brock Purdy, right? Ever since he came back from injury, you're gonna get maybe 1 or 2 interceptions out of Brock. But I believe more in Brock and that group to get it right at home than I do Sam Darnold. Then again, defensive edge, Seattle, offensive edge, Shanahan and the Niners, and that's the way I'm going to go. But prop-wise, I will say this.
Well, let me just, because we're going to go ahead. I just want to say this. My biggest worry in this game is the offense is being so bad it flies over. I am worried. No.
Meaning like turnovers or 3 and out, short field.
I know you love an opportunity. Sometimes when there's bad quarterbacks, you'll be like, this is perfect for the over because they're just going to make dumb plays. Right. And the ball's going to go the other direction, short field. That's what I'm worried about. I am worried about Darnold throwing a pick six, Purdy throwing a pick six. Oh, wow, McCaffrey put it on the ground. It's like, why? But like that, I might look for it. Maybe I'll
Intel
see if
coming in, just say a lot of people like the under.
All right. So, hey, all right.
You're up against it. I'm just saying I've gotten more intel, and it's not good.
Feels impossible. I'll look into it.
Could be in the 60s today. I'm just saying.
All right. So it's becoming a new best bet. We know how that goes. All right, interesting. Certainly not going to rattle my cage. Certainly not going to. Certainly not going to rattle my cage.
It's starting to.
All right.
Rattle that snake. Rattle it, baby.
All right. You were saying that you like some props.
I explain again. Juwan Jennings has the big crossing pattern to score the touchdown.
Yeah.
They don't get him involved in the offense at all in the first half. It's amazing. In like multiple weeks, he's come on in the second half of games, hasn't come close to 80 yards receiving. I think he has to be an important factor for this offense. Pearsall, yes, did have big plays against Chicago, but being banged up, again, I think he is the one they look to lock down out of the wide receiver position. I think Jennings is the bigger body. I think he should get a ton of targets. In red zone opportunities, and I've said this over the past couple of years, he is the security blanket outside of Kittle for Brock Purdy. He looks to him, and he can box out. So could be a 2-touchdown game potentially for Juwan Jennings. But receiving yards, I think he should break out today. And Shaheed for Seattle.
Sure.
Forgotten man. They get him, and punt returns are great. Right, and he's added that dimension to this team. But you can't. You just. It's amazing. Again, I don't want to beat a drum. Seattle feeds JSN like there's not enough oatmeal to go around. Like after with JSN. Hey, could we get some for Shaheed and
But I thought
Barner?
you were upset that number ones weren't.
No, but that's my point. There's 2 teams that feed overindulge their number ones. L.A. Rams, Seattle. Mm-hmm. Outside of that.
So is that A.J. Brown gets fed a lot now.
Nah, only when he complains, Kev. Only when he complains.
Been pretty happy.
We lost 4 games in a row. We're playing great. We're playing. I'm getting mine, baby.
I will say it's very interesting to me that the books seem unfazed by Kittle and Pearsall's placement on the injury report. Both guys posted with numbers above Juwan Jennings. I wouldn't have expected that necessarily. It's what we're seeing here.
100.
The second thing I'll say is, just doing a little in-show recon. I don't know what intel you have. That's all I'll say. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's fake intel, just to throw me off the scent. I don't know if. I don't know. I don't know. He's trying to rattle my cage, people, and I don't quite like it. What I do quite like is the opportunity to give you a Saturday morning crunch. where we not give you not one, not two, but three of our favorite player props on this slate, and a look into the anytime touchdown market for each of these two football games. Who can find the end zone? Bucky's Irving, perhaps, Mr. Intel? Time will tell. We'll be right back as we're hanging out with you right here on Pro Football Today.
LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. The greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Like Alabama, right? Is there a team that scores more than Alabama? No, right? But they're actually an under team over the last couple of years because their numbers are so high. You get these Americans in Queens College or Denver. Who the hell's betting on them, right? Nobody. So the lines stay low. They're just like, no one's hopping all over them. But every time you see an Alabama game, you're betting over, but you're losing money because the numbers are so big.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Sometimes those coaches do get the axe regardless of what the owner said just a few short weeks ago. And sometimes, Joe, you can't have it both ways. Like a Jets fan, you probably want them to tank. They're doing a really good job of that by not even being competitive at this point. But at the same time, you sort of want it to be, yeah, we're not competitive winning games, but it looks like we have a future. We might have found our quarterback. We got a good foundation. Nothing is going right.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, we're back right here on SportsGrid. I gotta be honest with you, folks. I think I'm losing him. I'm not. I'm just. He seems all over the place right now.
You're not losing me.
No.
No.
All right, that's good. That's good. He's here.
I think
He's ready
I'm
to
here.
rock and roll. I will just let people know before we fully dive into your Saturday morning crunch. The touchdown markets for these games are really fascinating because you look through it. So Carolina gives up a lot of touchdowns on the ground this season. They've been giving up a ton of running back touchdowns recently, 10 in the last 6 games. I don't know who the running back is that's supposed to score because it's been Sean Tucker of recent. They let Rachaad White get a touch. Bucky's supposed to be the lead guy. But also, if the ball's at the 1-yard line, they're just as live to throw it to Mike Evans. So you've got that whole situation there. Tampa gives up a lot of passing touchdowns. If you're willing to trust Bryce Young, maybe pick out a number 1 wide receiver. And the Niners and the Seahawks are two teams that give up far more passing than rushing touchdowns. It's why you see those minus numbers tied to both Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold to throw 2 on this slate. I know. Here's the thing. Listen, they sent the wrong guy to do a job. That's all I know.
No, they love getting a kick out of me.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
They do.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Wheel.
Sure.
You're a wheel.
I'm a. Thank you. Thank you. It'll be interesting if you can make it through whatever they're trying to put you up to.
No, they're not.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
You know what? No, I have to because I'm not going to make it through the segment. Forget the crunch for a second.
Go ahead.
Because the guys in the back and me, I cooked it. We have a special birthday surprise for you.
Yeah.
Guys, kick it up. Come on. What do we have for him? Look at that. Great. AI. Looks like I tell you, is he a AEW? It's your birthday today.
It looks like I put on even more weight.
Honestly, it looks like you stuck your finger in a socket.
It looks like I got punched in both cheeks before they took the picture.
You look a little like the late John Candy in that picture.
Yeah?
You do. No,
All
but
right.
I mean, let me tell you, I love you like family, and I wouldn't want to do a show with anybody else but you. But happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
You know,
I appreciate it. I love you as well.
They're all excited. Notice it's LSU colors. I don't know if you noticed.
Saturday I Day. I see I had no choice but to end up on SportsGrid by doing this show on a Saturday.
But they were sending me other things.
I'm sure.
And trying to get me to crack.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to make it to the crunch.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So
yeah, listen, smooth as crunchy peanut butter, the whole operation. But it worked out. I appreciate it very much.
Listen.
I appreciate it very much.
We have fun on the show.
We're great.
And at the end of the day,
We're great. You got tears in your eyes.
I'm crying.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing what they were doing to make you have such a smile. Again, I appreciate the birthday wishes. Would you like to give people? Here are the presents, Joe. Maybe I'll. Come on. No, come on. You can't show it.
Why can't you show it?
You're just gonna have to read it.
Why?
Because they're too busy making AI. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't even know what the crunch was. No, I
you
do
know. You have to give out your
right,
crunch.
so
you can't read off it.
Emeka Ibuka over his receiving total. Okay. What's wrong with that? Tommy Tremble over his receiving total. Okay.
That's the crunch.
Wait, I'm not done.
That's the crunch.
And Rashid over his receiving total.
You just made that up. None of that's in the rundown. None of that's in the rundown. In the rundown is Emeka's touchdown.
Yeah.
Shaheed touchdown. Shaheed over 29.5.
Okay, so as I'm giving the crunch, I said yards and touchdown. And the person that's I'm dictating to, just put in the touchdown. So I like the yards and the touchdown. Here he is, wheel play. So here it is. Ibuka over the receiving yards.
Gift.
Tommy Tremble over his receiving yards. And Shaheed over his receiving yards. And if you want to put a cherry on top, why not throw the anytime touchdowns? How about that?
Yeah, all right, thanks. Thanks for the.
Let's see what we got. Come on, Wheel. It's your birthday. What do you got?
Save your best for Chet McMillan of Arizona over the 58.5 receiving yards.
Evans.
We've got Bryce Young's long completion over 31.5, minus 120. How about this? McCaffrey, 5 rushing yards a quarter, plus 105.
Yeah, okay. Typical.
You like any of those?
No.
All right. Well, hey, listen, with friends like that, who needs enemies? Can you just remind me of your 14 crunch plays you just gave out?
3 crunch plays.
Yeah?
Ibuka over receiving.
Yep.
Tremble over receiving.
Yep.
And Shaheed over receiving.
But you like them all to score.
No, I do like them all to score.
We're right back here on Pro Football Today.
LeBron James gets that news today. What is today?
Today's his birthday.
Oh, I'm sorry. The greatest birthday gift that LeBron James has ever gotten is the reality, the smack in the face that he's no longer an all-star.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Like Alabama, right? Is there a team that scores more than Alabama? No, right? But they're actually an under team over the last couple of years because their numbers are so high. You get these Americans in Queens College or Denver. Who the hell's betting on them, right? Nobody. So the lines stay low. They're just like, no one's hopping all over them. But every time you see an Alabama game, you're betting over, but you're losing money because the numbers are so big.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Sometimes those coaches do get the axe regardless of what the owner said just a few short weeks ago. And sometimes, Joe, you can't have it both ways. Like a Jets fan, you probably want them to tank. They're doing a really good job of that by not even being competitive at this point. But at the same time, you sort of want it to be, we're not competitive winning games, but it looks like we have a future. We might have found our quarterback. We got a good foundation. Nothing is going right
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
He's out again. Anthony Davis is injured once again and is going to miss time with the Dallas Mavericks for a minor groin strain. Likely will miss a few games. And I don't even know what a few games is to Anthony Davis, because Anthony Davis seems to always be missing time.
Pro basketball today, only on SportsGrid.